Nobody seems to be outside of the ash. He was about to pull back his hand when a pair of crimson eyes suddenly appeared in the crack of the door. Water Lucy was so frightened that her soul almost left her body as she hurriedly retreated. "There's a ghost!" Evan Zhao quickly held her and said, "Don't panic, there are no ghosts here. This doesn't feel right." Then he stepped forward and knocked on the door. "Is there a ghost?" The next second. Then the chains on the iron gate made a clanging sound. A mysterious gust of cold wind blew through the crack in the door, accompanied by a hoarse and eerie voice echoing continuously in the corridor. "Go away! You are not welcome here, nor is your master." Evan Zhao smiled slightly after hearing this. Then he put the ghost candle into his storage space. He pressed his face against the crack in the door. "Take a good look. We are not slaves to that guy. We are outsiders." Upon hearing these words, that terrifying ghostly face appeared again at the door. "Ding! Warehouse ghost, neutral with no weaknesses. Extremely powerful, but avoids conflict. If you want to kill him, the only way is a head-on attack." Evan Zhao couldn't help but smile when he saw this. Just as I suspected, the warehouse ghost is a neutral ghost. He immediately continued to explain calmly. "The ghostly aura just now was emitted by the ghost candle to protect us." Warehouse ghost hesitated for a moment after hearing that. Then it unlocked the chains on the iron gate and said, "Come in and talk." The ghosts in the warehouse are different from the ones at the station. After Evan Zhao introduced himself, he did not reject the living. He hesitated for a moment, but still opened the door. The two then arrived at the open space inside the warehouse. By the light of the ghost candle, Water Lucy saw the body of the ghost in front of her. It turned out to be a rusty metal box. The warehouse ghost lit a cigarette and smoked it on his own. "You are not the first group of people to look for me. Too bad." Evan Zhao gave a faint smile. "Rest assured, we are the last group." Warehouse ghost glanced at him indifferently after hearing that, not paying much attention. "You want diesel, right? Just take it yourself." Seeing him so easy to talk to. On the side, Water Lucy suddenly felt that this cold underground warehouse became much warmer. Evan Zhao replied seriously, "We not only need diesel, but also your help." Warehouse ghost frowned slightly and asked, "Why should I help you?" Evan Zhao looked at him with interest and asked, "Don't you want to leave here?" "No one can leave here. Even though it is dormant most of the time, it is still keeping an eye on things." Evan Zhao raised the ghost candle in his hand and opened his mouth. There was a chance before the candle burned out. Warehouse ghost fell into silence upon hearing this. Water Lucy on the side listened to them talking like a fool and still couldn't understand who it was. Evan Zhao and Warehouse ghost turned their faces at her simultaneously and reprimanded with a sentence. "Adults are speaking. Children should not interrupt." Then Warehouse ghost continued in a solemn tone. "You ghost candles have one less wick than humans, right? It knows the power of this thing. As long as ghost candles appear on the train, then nothing evil can invade." Evan Zhao pondered for a moment. "Yes, just now one of my teammates went back. I have observed that he is quite reliable. He should be able to listen to me and leave some ghost candles behind." Warehouse ghost shook its head. It did not think Evan Zhao's idea was feasible. Not enough time, the train was too old, and the speed was too slow. It would take time to rush out of the station. Once it started, the ghost candles in your hands would burn very quickly and won't last long. Evan Zhao replied earnestly, "This is the reason I came to find you. You can help us buy some time." Warehouse ghost chuckled after hearing this. "If I had the ability to deal with it, would I still be marginalized in this corner? But I am very curious. How did you know about its existence? The internal ghost should not be able to mention its name, right?" Evan Zhao brought a chair, casually blew off the dust, and sat down. "I found an electronic map in the control room, although it is a top-down view. But it is about the internal facilities. It is fully annotated with height data. With this data, I reconstructed the station in my mind. When the whole picture of the station appeared in my mind, I felt very surprised. Why would someone build a station in the shape of a ghost head? And with those ghosts saying that it has been monitoring all entities inside the station. So I began to suspect that the so-called "it" is the station itself. This is clearly just an ordinary station. It was built in the shape of a ghost head. Originally, the station itself is a truly scary ghost. It not only monitors all the presences in the station, it will also kill those who want to launch the resentment train. Evan Zhao continued to speak out his analysis. Besides, I also found this underground warehouse very strange. It is not only the only place in the station without data marked. Moreover, on this ghost head, this warehouse seems superfluous like a tumor. It is so domineering, absolutely impossible to tolerate this warehouse not being swallowed. The only reason is that it cannot swallow here. So if I guess correctly, in the past, it did not recover because of your suppression. But during the renovation of the station in July, some kind of connection between you was cut off, causing it to successfully break free from your control and wake up. After listening to Evan Zhao's explanation and speculation, Warehouse Ghost couldn't help but be stunned for a few seconds. He actually guessed everything right. And on the side, Water Lucy finally understood. It turns out it is the station itself. No wonder the ground I just stepped on had that flesh-like texture. Ghost in the warehouse sighed helplessly. You guessed right for the most part. Although its power cannot penetrate here, I am also unable to leave the station. Everything is under his surveillance except for my underground warehouse. As soon as one approaches the exit, it will awaken. After hearing that, Evan Zhao placed the burning ghost candle in front of the ghost in the warehouse and expressed his confidence in having a solution. My ghost candle and Water Lucy's ghost candle burn for the same amount of time. I will use my ghost candle to time it for you. When the ghost candle is about to burn out, you should leave the warehouse. Go destroy the control room of the station and its eyes. In short, try to attract its attention as much as possible. As soon as the station is about to fully recover, you immediately shift the battlefield and escape with us on the train. As long as you break out of the station's coverage range, you can free yourself from its control. The warehouse ghost fell silent for a while upon hearing this. You can try, but the security guard ghost is very troublesome. It's the most capable lackey under the control of the station. When it really gets serious, it can delay me for a considerable amount of time. Evan Zhao cleared his throat upon hearing this. Don't worry, he's not here. The ghost security guard's hatred is trapped on Wenlong. Even if Wenlong returns all the clothes to the ghost security guard, the other party will not let him off easily. Although he cannot harm Wenlong, he will never be willing to just leave like that. Ghost in the warehouse nodded, then brought 2 barrels of diesel fuel and placed them on a cart. There is my scent on this cart. You can push the cart back to refuel the train. There shouldn't be any danger on the way. Evan Zhao took the cart and furrowed his brows, saying, There is one last issue to resolve. The train driver needs him to start the train. I'm not sure what exactly happened on the train that year. But according to the rules, the door of the train cab will only open when the ghost candle burns out completely. But we obviously don't have the time to wait for the ghost candle to burn out. The ghost candle is our only leverage against the station, and there can be no waste. Tell me about the train conductor. I will find a way to open the door to the cab in advance. Warehouse Ghost listened quietly, and then slowly began to tell the story. In the beginning, when Moi Village had an accident, tens of thousands of people crazily rushed into the train station. They knew that once the train left, it wouldn't come back. Therefore, besides the fiend slaughter of the people, many horrifying incidents of people killing each other also occurred. 2 trains left early. In the end, only the last train, D19, remained. They watched as the fiend started running from the village towards the train station. The train conductor, however, was reluctant to start the train. The passengers, feeling anxious, urged the train conductor on. But the train conductor insisted on waiting for his elderly mother to arrive before starting the train. An old bully who often bullies people in the village. He couldn't help but directly threaten the train conductor with a dagger. But the conductor was determined to wait for his own mother. If his mother doesn't arrive, he won't depart. People have no choice but to pick up some simple weapons at the door of the carriage to deal with the occasional fiend rushing over. After waiting for a long time, the train conductor's mother finally arrived. The old rascal hurried forward to urge her to hurry up. But it was also at this time a terrifying fiend appeared from the dark fog. The fiend reached out a tentacle and wrapped it around the old thug. Watching as he was about to be pulled out, this guy unexpectedly came up with a plan. He directly grabbed the nearest train conductor's mother and pushed her towards Fiend. So the Fiend let the old gangster go. It ate his mother in front of the train conductor. Evan Zhao frowned and asked, "Did his mother turn into a ghost later?" Warehouse Ghost nodded. "But she's different from the regular ghosts you see." People killed by those creatures become ghosts without any memories or self-will. Instead, they fall into becoming fierce ghosts who only know how to kill. Evan Zhao asked, "Where is it now?" The warehouse ghost replied, "I know what you're thinking. The train conductor's mother is his fixation. You want to find her to unravel the train conductor's fixation, but now his mother is no longer the kind and gentle old lady she used to be. It's a crazed killing machine, and in the waiting room south of the train station, there are many fierce ghosts. Without a ghost candle, going there is asking for trouble." Evan Zhao smiled brightly after hearing that. "I have a plan. Thank you for your help." The warehouse ghost, "Then our plan begins." The powerful station ghost will devour everything once awakened. And the humans and ghosts inside the station must escape as soon as possible. After Evan Zhao and the warehouse ghost discussed the plan, they walked out. He turned to look at Water Lucy beside him and said, "Give me your ghost candle." Water Lucy became extremely nervous upon hearing this. "If I give you the ghost candle, then what will I do?" Evan Zhao patted the handle of the pushcart and explained, "There is a scent left by the ghost in the warehouse on this cart." The warehouse ghost is even stronger than the security guard ghost. The ghosts currently lingering in the station all have highly developed intelligence. They won't bother you. After pouring diesel into the train, use this pushcart to block the entrance. This way, the inside of the train will be temporarily safe. The ghost candle can be used to reinsert those memories into their brains. Leave a timer in Wenlong's hands. Don't let them waste it in vain. Water Lucy hesitated, watching Evan Zhao cautiously. "You won't deceive me, will you?" The previous incident of Evan Zhao deceiving Wenlong has left a deep impression on her young mind. She is worried that she might also be unknowingly outwitted by him. Evan Zhao shrugged indifferently upon hearing that. "Well, how about I push the cart back, and you go to the waiting room to the south to find the train conductor's mother, who has fallen into a bloodthirsty fiend." Water Lucy was so frightened that she coughed. She quickly pushed the ghost candle into Evan Zhao's hands. "You should go. You are talented and bold. I, as a weak woman, shouldn't be doing such dangerous things." After saying that, she hurriedly ran towards the direction of the train. When Water Lucy disappeared into the darkness, Evan Zhao then turned and walked towards the southern waiting room. The road beneath his feet became increasingly sticky, as if every step was stepping on blood plasma. Evan Zhao understood that as time passed, the ghost station was about to awaken, and he had to make every minute and second count. He soon arrived at the south waiting room. He walked through the door and found that there were actually hundreds of twisted ghosts of different shapes scattered inside. They were very irritable, and a simple collision would lead to a fierce fight between them. Evan Zhao quietly slipped in along the wall from the doorway. He carefully dodged attacks from a few ghosts. His eyes gradually turned red amidst a dazzling array of lights. Various complex data was all captured by him in his mind. He quickly found a ghost train conductor covered in human heads from head to toe in a corner. His mother's head was also on the body of that ghost. Their necks turned into tentacles that could stretch and shrink, and would occasionally lunge out to ambush other ghosts and bite down fiercely. "It's my turn! It's my turn!" a head screamed excitedly. "Get out of the way! Let me do it! I haven't had enough fun yet. Dozens of heads were frantically arguing and roaring at each other, while Evan Zhao carefully hid in an inconspicuous corner. His scalpel had already been taken out, quietly waiting for the right moment. Not long after, the old woman's head revealed an excited and ferocious expression as she suddenly flew towards the nearby ghost. Evan Zhao smiled slightly when he saw the situation. The opportunity has come. He then immediately leaped up. He quickly approached the surgical knife in his hand. It lit up with a cold light. He swiftly cut off its tentacles with a backhand move, the chaos causing a sharp, agonizing scream. The devourer that grew out of the wound made Ghost feel a piercing pain in his heart. Suddenly, hundreds of heads on it turned around, and all of them stared directly at Evan Zhao. Their eyes were filled with malice and ferocity. Kill him! Kill him for me! In order to quickly escape the engulfment of Ghost Station, the man came alone to the waiting room filled with ghosts. After finding the ghost of the train conductor's mother, he instantly made a move and slashed the other party's neck. The next second, hundreds of heads above suddenly turned around, all looking at Evan Zhao with resentment and ferocity. However, Evan Zhao didn't give a damn about them. He picked up the old woman's head and ran outside with his butt squeezed. Don't let him escape. Kill him! The ghost behind is chasing closely. One of the ghosts even stretched its head and bit towards Evan Zhao's head. Fortunately, Evan Zhao managed to narrowly dodge the attack because of his fast speed. If it were in an open area instead, he would actually find it inconvenient to dodge. But right now, there are just over 100 ferocious, vengeful ghosts that can serve as a shield for oneself. He moves flexibly between ghosts. The attacking ghosts started to bite wildly. Of course, this also angered the other irritable ghosts inside the waiting room. Countless ghosts began to attack in unison. Evan Zhao smiled faintly at the sight, and quickly left with the ghost candle and the old woman's head. Soon he arrived at the entrance of the station platform. The old woman's head was the key to dealing with the train conductor. At this time, the ghost candle in his hand was also close to burning out. The floor that was originally eroding the road surface became more and more sticky, even beginning to slowly overflow with black water. Even the ground Evan Zhao's feet touched brought up a large area of rotting flesh. The wall in the distance also began to peel off, revealing a forest of pale bones inside. Those buildings were actually constructed using stacks of human corpses. The source of horror, the ghost of the station, had already begun to awaken. He needed to hurry back to the car. Evan Zhao quickly ran down the elevator. A familiar figure appeared coming towards him. It was the ragged and furious ghost security guard coming at him. He ran towards the station like a madman. Some idiots took advantage of his absence for a brief moment and attacked the control room. The master is already getting upset. If he doesn't quickly solve this problem, he might face a disaster when the master fully wakes up. The running man and the ghost brushed past each other. With a hint of doubt and ominous premonition, the ghost security guard turned his head. Evan Zhao also stopped his body at the same time. He looked at the other party's face, brimming with a mysterious smile. The security guard, Ghost, instantly felt chills all over his body. This person is so terrifying. The next moment, one person and one ghost disappeared from each other's sight. Everything around them was beginning to melt. The originally normal station had gradually evolved into a decaying and bloody space. Evan Zhao knew that they didn't have much time left, so he immediately returned to carriage one of the G19 train. At this moment, Water Lucy was anxiously looking around at the door, and the trolley given by the warehouse ghost was also thrown somewhere unknown. She quickly spoke up and warned when she saw Evan Zhao. "Hurry up! It's too late!" The terrifying station ghost is about to awaken. Everything around is turned into the shape of flesh and blood. The men know that they don't have much time left. He immediately returned to the train carrying the old woman's head. The head on the wooden table still had 3 candles burning halfway inserted into it, which was better than Evan Zhao had expected. You motherfucker finally came back. When Long was just about to, looking fierce with only a leopard print pair of pants. But when he saw the rotted ghost head that Evan Zhao was holding, he immediately swallowed back the swear words. He obediently continued speaking, was just about to thank you. Evan Zhao ignored him, scanning everyone in the station. Have you encountered any special situations during this time? Everyone looked at each other and shook their heads. The ghosts in the station are well behaved, and they seem to have no hostility towards us. There are hardly any scary ghosts coming in from outside. The ghost candles are very effective. Evan Zhao smiled and casually said, very good, after listening. Then he took out his weapon, a surgical knife. He took out all kinds of weapons, and was ready to cause trouble. Saying that, he went straight to the driver's cab. When Long hurriedly grabbed him when he saw this. Wait! Wasn't it said that we can't enter the driver's cab now based on the clue? Evan Zhao placed his hand on the door handle of the driver's cab and looked at him with a teasing smile. What did you say? I didn't hear you. When Long was suddenly a little at a loss after hearing that. The next second, Evan Zhao directly opened the door of the driver's cab. The horrifying scene in front of them left everyone stunned in place, with chills running down their spines. Inside the driver's cabin appeared a powerful figure, two bodies intertwined, a vengeful ghost. Their bodies were intertwined like tangled roots, as if plant roots had grown together. One ghost's hand was inserted into the chest of another ghost, while the sharp, long tongue of the other ghost pierced into the eye of the adjacent ghost. The moment this terrifying ghost appeared, everyone immediately wanted to grab the ghost candle on the wooden table as quickly as possible. Because as long as they obtained the ghost candle, even the most terrifying ghost would be unable to attack them. The closest one, Wang Su, was the first to make a move. However, before his hand could reach out, it was directly chopped off by Evan Zhao with a knife. Before he could react, Wang Su saw colorful vines growing out of the wound on his forearm. Along with the intense pain that followed, Wang Su lay on the ground, rolling in agony, screaming and rolling his eyes. Evan Zhao stared at the players present and said coldly, "No one is allowed to touch the ghost candle on the table, or I will not be polite." Safety-P9 nervously looked at the ghost that could rush out of the cockpit at any time, a touch of madness appearing on her face. She took out a small pistol and aimed it at Evan Zhao's head, sharply rebuking, "Quickly hand over the ghost candle to me, or I'll blow your head off." She stared Evan Zhao down, ready to shoot at the first sign of any attempt to attack her. However, she did not expect that the next second, a fist would strike her temple. The driver's cab facing the station was finally opened. Two entangled vengeful ghosts also emerged. The crowd was so scared that they hurried to grab the ghost candles on the table. But Evan Zhao took out a weapon to stop them. The old lady Safety-P9 is a tough person. She stared at Evan Zhao firmly. She will shoot at the first sign of any attempt to attack her. The atmosphere turned tense with a standoff, and at this moment, Water Lucy hesitated for a moment. She gritted her teeth and took action. She suddenly threw a punch, hitting the opponent on the temple. Fully focused on Evan Zhao's grandmother, she was instantly hit. Just when Safety-P9 was off guard, Water Lucy directly knocked her down. She then violently broke her arm, and the heartbreaking screams echoed throughout the entire carriage. Water Lucy continued to grab her other arm, and broke it again. Looking at the old woman on the ground, her eyes bulged out, her face twisted in an evil expression. Water Lucy gasped and apologized. "I'm sorry, old lady. I choose to believe Evan Zhao." Evan Zhao nodded in response and said, "Thank you." And at this time, the two scary and fierce ghosts inside the driver's cabin slowly crawled out. The heavy oppression made everyone's legs weak. In the blood-red eyes, there was a strong and extreme sense of cruelty. The terror of this ghost is definitely not inferior to the security guard ghost. "Who allowed you to open the door of the driver's cabin?" Two voices filled with resentment and coldness intertwined in a very discordant manner, hoarse and piercing. Facing this extremely powerful ghost, Evan Zhao showed no fear. He took out the head of the train conductor's mother and issued a threat. "Depart," Evan Zhao said calmly with an authority that was impossible to refuse. Seeing the trembling ghost head in the front, the conductor seemed to have sobered up quite a bit and called out for his mother. The ghost head did not respond. She had long fallen into a fiend under the corrosion of power at the station. She didn't remember anything about her past life. Evan Zhao looked at the conductor who had regained some consciousness. He spoke. "Your mother has been controlled by its power. If you want your mother to return to her previous self, you must leave here. It is about to wake up. If you don't want to see your mother die again, then hurry up and start the train." The train conductor, upon hearing this, reacted as if waking from a dream. He glanced at the station, only to see the outside gradually transforming into a terrifying scene resembling a bloody hell. The train conductor immediately headed towards the driver's cab. "I need to take my mom and leave here. Drive away from here," he said. However, just as it was about to enter the driver's cab, the ghost hand that stabbed into its chest was suddenly pulled out. The ghost hand then suddenly grabbed the nearby door frame. The vengeful ghost grinned ferociously and said, "Do you want to leave?" "Back then, Lousy told you to leave, but you didn't listen, damn it. I want everyone in the car to accompany your damn immortal thing to be buried together. No one is allowed to leave today. I'm going to pull all of you for a burial. The powerful ghost station is devouring all living beings." After seeing his mother's head, the train conductor ghost also regained consciousness. He finally decided to start the train and led everyone to escape from the terrifying station. But at this moment, the village bully ghost actually did not want to leave. He wanted revenge and wanted everyone, including Ghost, to be buried with him. Evan Zhao knew time was running out, so he quickly turned his head and shouted loudly for Wenlong to shoot. Upon hearing his words, Wenlong quickly took out the shotgun. He raised the gun sharply, aimed at the temple of the village bully ghost, and pulled the trigger. Due to first-time use, he was pushed back several steps by the powerful recoil of the crusher, almost falling to the ground. With a loud bang, this shot instantly hit the forehead of the village bully ghost, splattering a large amount of blood. Ghost was directly blasted into pieces. Wenlong signaled that everything was done. But the next second, a roar came from the body of the village tyrant Ghost. Immediately, an arm actually reached out from his body, bringing out a large piece of flesh and blood. "Dare to hit me, I will kill all of you. Everyone must die." A newly born fierce ghost slowly crawled out from the body of the village bully ghost. Crimson eyes filled with infinite resentment. The terrifying aura emanating from him made everyone present know that this kind of thing was not something they could deal with. The newly born village bully ghost was extremely dangerous, with unclear weaknesses. Abilities: Dual-Edged Ghost Claw, Soul-Capturing Ghost Pupil. Note: killing you is as easy as killing a fly to him. After reading this data, Evan Zhao immediately shouted, "Use all the items now, or we won't stand a chance." And as soon as he finished speaking, a new ghost suddenly emerged and charged towards the crowd. It slapped towards Evan Zhao, who immediately ducked and avoided it. The sharp ghost claws swept across the top of Evan Zhao's head without any hindrance, leaving a gap in the thick car body. This scene made everyone's scalp tingle. Anyone touched by ghost claws would surely end up dead or crippled. I faced off against Wenlong, who picked up a shotgun and fired several shots at the village bully ghost. The bullets splattered blood all over his body, but at this point, the village bully ghost could already ignore his attacks. Vengeful Ghost turned around, his blood-filled mouth split to his ears, and a sly smile escaped from his lips. Following that, with a whoosh, it swiftly charged forward. A claw struck towards Wenlong, who quickly retreated. However, he couldn't avoid it, and one of his hands was directly severed, blood splattering everywhere. He let out a miserable scream, looking in panic at his severed arm. The village tyrant ghost chuckled and extended his claws once again. At this critical moment, the well-prepared Evan Zhao immediately launched a surprise attack from behind him. His surgical knife accurately hit its target. The damage from this knife is much more terrifying than that shotgun. Chaos damage directly tears through the toughest defense of the village tyrant ghost and enters the body. Devourer then wildly multiplies and thrives inside the village tyrant ghost's body. The creation of demon deity genome, Devourer, is not interested in humans. It becomes more excited by the flesh and blood of strange and rare creatures. Unfortunately, Evan Zhao is not powerful enough. Otherwise, Devourer alone could directly devour the village tyrant ghost and leave nothing behind. A thick and long vine spread outside its body. Feeling the pain, the village tyrant ghost roared in anger. Its whole body was filled with ghostly power, transforming into a raging fire burning inside, barely suppressing the growing devourer. However, even so, the devourer still caused the village tyrant ghost a lot of trouble. The wildly swinging thick vines below made it lose balance, staggering as if a drunken man on the street. "Damn crawler, I will kill you!" He angrily roared, and then walked towards Evan Zhao. The powerful village bully ghost is going to kill everyone present. Evan Zhao, however, stabbed his chrysanthemum with a scalpel. Evan Zhao's actions naturally angered the village bully ghost. He angrily rushed towards Evan Zhao to attack, but Evan Zhao remained calm and unfazed. The next second, he pulled out the T-202 he obtained at the Ghost School research base. Then he aimed directly at his own neck and stabbed down hard. Ding! You have used item T-202. Quality: consumable. Description: a project manufactured by a mysterious organization. They have invested tremendous cost and risk into it, but in the end, they only completed half. Effect: manifestation of a dark alter ego. Note: perhaps you have never truly understood your inner self. Do you know how terrifying your true self can be? Everyone seeing this scene was puzzled. Evan Zhao chuckled and dropped the syringe in his hand. "You're done for. Soon I'll turn into a terrifying fiend. I will flay you alive, pull out your tendons, and gnaw on your bones. I'm about to change. I'm about to change right now. You just wait to die." Upon seeing Evan Zhao inject himself with a mysterious solution, even the fierce village bully ghost couldn't help but take 2 steps back. Vaguely, he felt a sense of fear creeping into his heart. What exactly was going on? Everyone looked at Evan Zhao with extremely cautious and guarded expressions. However, after half a minute, he showed no change at all. The tense atmosphere suddenly relaxed. Evan Zhao coughed awkwardly. To be honest, I am not very satisfied with the product experience of T-202. I will find a way to complain about their researchers later." Ghost, the village bully, became angry as soon as he heard this. "Damn it! If you don't have anything useful to say, then why bother talking to me? Go to hell!" He angrily rushed towards Evan Zhao to attack. But then a little girl's voice came from behind it. "You are not allowed to hit brother." The female ghost in the 6th carriage suddenly appeared and hugged him. The village bully ghost saw this and roared angrily, then pulled her hands away. Taking advantage of the situation, it also kicked the little female ghost, sending her flying to the edge of the carriage. The little female ghost vomited blood profusely, looking weak and dispirited. "Little bastard, you are just as useless as your father. How dare you help an outsider come after me?" "Then I will eat you first," village bully ghost said, quickly crawling towards little female ghost. But at this moment, 3 ferocious ghosts in the 5th carriage blocked his way. The village bully ghost gave them a cold glance. The 3 ghosts quickly expanded their bodies, looking fierce as they stared at their opponents, clearly prepared for a life-and-death battle. "Nobody can stop us from rushing to freedom. Let the train go. Hurry!" The village bully ghost approached slowly, and the aura on his body kept rising. "Is it just you guys?" At this moment, Wenlong behind him seized the opportunity. "No! They can't win. I have to go up and help." He immediately took out a freezing talisman and charged over. He instantly stuck it on the back of the village bully ghost, barely hindering the opponent's movements. The extremely dangerous village bully ghost wants to kill everyone in the carriage. The man with severed arm took the opportunity to stick the freezing talisman on him. This talisman barely hindered the actions of the village bully ghost. This gave everyone a chance to catch their breath. Evan Zhao shouted loudly at this moment. "Now is the time! You guys escape to the back carriage. I will handle it here." Water, Lucy, and Wenlong did not hesitate and turned around to leave. Sugar Tian followed behind them. Ghost glanced at him and then gritted his teeth, grabbing little female Ghost and running towards the back carriage. Sophia Chin and the other three did not act. They wanted to see Evan Zhao die a miserable death with their own eyes to find peace. At this moment, the talisman behind the village bully ghost is burning rapidly. It slowly turned around, its eyes leaving behind crimson blood. Now no one is here to help you. Are you ready to die, Evan Zhao? Calmly, it arrived at the side of the car door. He grinned at the village bully ghost. And what about you? Are you ready to die? He said, then he yanked open the car door. The next second, the terrifying warehouse ghost walked in from outside. The village bully ghost was stunned on the spot when he saw the situation. The warehouse ghost then revealed a sinister smile, and the box on his chest opened instantly. Blood mist gushed out like a spring, quickly filling every corner of the carriage. In this blood mist, where you couldn't even see your hand in front of your face, everyone heard the terrifying screams of the village bully ghost. His body gradually corroded into a pool of blood. Evan Zhao quickly shouted, "Leave a head for me!" Warehouse ghost asked puzzledly why he needed a head. Evan Zhao jokingly replied, "As a chamber pot." "Haha, I'm just kidding with you. I just want to personally slaughter him." The body of the village bully ghost melts rapidly. Evan Zhao immediately arrived next to the remaining head of ghost and stabbed it with a sharp surgical knife. He completely wiped it out. Ding. You have killed the new village bully ghost soulbound weapon and obtained the enhanced demon deity genome. Reconstruction in progress 0.05%. Soulbound weapon energy insufficient. Reconstruction failed. This reconstruction host gains the power of 8 Devourer to evolve into Marauder. Units damaged by your soulbound weapon will have Marauder growing at the wound, continuously drawing HP and power from the unit to heal. Until Marauder is wiped out or the unit dies, the strength of Marauder is related to the power and level of the host Evan Zhao. Killed the newly born village bully ghost Evan Zhao and gained a full 8 points of strength from it. And the Devourer also evolved into a Marauder. From the effect perspective, as long as Evan Zhao's soulbound weapon hits Evan Zhao, it is equivalent to having a continuous spring that provides him with recovery. He then asked the train conductor to depart quickly. He then frowned and looked outside the door. The darkness outside the carriage had completely dissipated. The rail grooves were overflowing with a foul-smelling fresh blood, flowing like a river. Occasionally, white bones and mangled bodies emerged. Evan Zhao suddenly threw his soulbound weapon into the air. The scalpel pierced the increasingly ferocious flesh above. Soon, the wound left behind ash-like scars. Black tentacles densely grew inside, constantly devouring from the middle. And Evan Zhao also felt waves of HP power at this moment, flowing into his body from the unknown abyss. Though these powers cannot make Evan Zhao stronger, they can heal the injuries on Evan Zhao's body. Water Lucy, and Wenlong walked back from the rear carriage. She asked if the train had started up without any issues. Evan Zhao shook his head and replied solemnly, "No. The ghost station has fully awakened. The danger is just beginning. The terrifying station ghost will devour everything. The train conductor ghost drives the last train to escape for his life." The darkness outside the carriage has completely dissipated at this moment. The grooves of the tracks are filled with foul-smelling fresh blood overflowing like a river, occasionally revealing some broken bones and corpses. The most frightening thing is the huge, black hole-like eyes above, coldly staring at the slowly moving train on the tracks, eyes full of anger. "Kill them!" A hoarse and piercing voice echoes continuously. Upon receiving the command, various strange ghosts in the distance all rush towards the train with eerie speed. Some light can already be seen in the distance ahead of the train. But this path leading to the light is incredibly dark and cruel. A giant tentacle with countless barbs suddenly lifted up. The tentacle hooked onto the back of the train carriage with a single swipe. Under its pull, the train began to shake violently. The ghost candle flickered rapidly, burning wildly. Evan Zhao and the ghost in the warehouse arrived at the junction of compartment 1. He quickly shouted loudly to the ghost behind him, "Hurry to compartment 1!" The three fierce ghost brothers heard the shout and, with the little female ghost, rushed into compartment 1 at the first opportunity. Then, 7 or 8 more ghosts ran towards compartment 1 as well. Many ghosts seemed hesitant, as if contemplating whether they should trust a living person or not. But in a moment of hesitation, their chance for freedom was completely extinguished. Evan Zhao did not hesitate for a second for them, closed the door, and turned to face the warehouse ghost. He directly had it cut off the link between compartment 1 and the cars behind. Willing to extend a helping hand to save these people or ghosts does not mean he has the obligation or mission to do so, let alone risking his life to save them. He has already given them a chance. If they don't want it, then they can go and die in the cars behind. Instantly dragged into the flesh and blood by the tentacles, the tragic screams of the inferno gradually drowned out by the inundating blood. In the end, completely disappeared from sight. The passengers in carriage number 1 and ghosts were both covered in cold sweat. Evan Zhao's actions were really decisive, without any hesitation or delay. Wenlong couldn't help but feel somewhat fortunate in his heart that he avoided this disaster by obeying. But the danger has not been eliminated. The train's wheels crushed numerous corpses and bloodied mud as it moved forward with difficulty. The train conductor has already poured all of his strength into the train. But faced with countless restless ghosts who had died at the station, he was still unable to cope. He anxiously shouted, "It's no use!" The speed was already at its maximum, but it would still take at least a minute to leave the station. It needed more pushing. Evan Zhao remained composed, showing no signs of panic. After a moment of serious contemplation, he shouted to Water Lucy and Wenlong, "Quickly go and pull out the ghost candle and hold it in your hands." The two dared not delay, and quickly followed the instructions to do as told. At the next moment, a huge ghost claw descended from the sky and suddenly slammed towards the train. With a loud bang, a terrifying impact caused blood and water to splash dozens of meters from below the train. Countless restless ghost bones were shattered in this fatal attack, their spirits scattered. Everyone could only close their eyes in despair, quietly waiting for the arrival of destruction. The terrifying station ghost has awakened. Train conductor ghost. It drives the last train to escape death. At this moment, a giant ghost claw descends from the sky and instantly rushes towards the train speeding below. Everyone nervously closed their eyes, but the expected destruction did not occur. The ghost candle in hand suddenly brightened, and the candle burned wildly at a rapid speed. Mysterious power enveloped this carriage, helping them to mitigate the damage this time. Under the rules, as long as the ghost candle is not completely burned out, the person holding the ghost candle will not be harmed. The ghost at the station, although incredibly powerful, still cannot surpass the rules of the system. Water Lucy, with lingering fear in her heart, asked Evan Zhao what to do next. At this moment, the only one remaining calm, Evan Zhao, undoubtedly became the core of the small team. Even the warehouse ghost next to him looked at him differently. He took a glance at the dozen or so ghosts inside the carriage and quickly made a decision. "I don't know you, you don't know me, but now our destinies are firmly tied together. You want to stay alive, you want freedom. Follow what I say next. Warehouse ghost, you and the conductor work together, pour all your strength into the train's power system, make sure the train leaves as soon as possible. Other ghosts stay in the carriages, block the fiends chasing from behind. You don't need to cause them much harm. Just give them a hit at the critical moment and knock them off the carriages." Evan Zhao hinted with a brilliant smile that sent shivers down everyone's spine. Wang Su, Sophia Qin, and Mia Li are intentionally left by me. When necessary, you can throw them down as bait to attract the attention of those fiends. Success is defined as long as you can hold the fiend's attention. However, you are not allowed to touch the little girl. Upon hearing this, the three of them were immediately panicked. Wang Su's eyes widened in anger, his face pale. Evan Zhao screamed in terror. I didn't offend you. Why do you want to harm me? Evan Zhao's sincere and heartfelt comfort. This is an opportunity for you to gain experience. How could it be harming you? What a great opportunity for growth. I am a kind person. Please do not let the opportunity one gave you go to waste. Upon saying that, he let 3 vengeful ghosts tie up the several people. Wang Su saw the vengeful ghosts closing in on him, trembling all over. Demon, you are a demon, he said. Meanwhile, Wenlong and Water Lucy tightly grasped their ghost candles and secretly watched Evan Zhao. This guy is too scary. He appears harmless on the surface, but secretly plots against everyone. If one has not personally come into contact with Evan Zhao, it is difficult to appreciate how a slender, slightly sickly handsome young man can exude such a powerful sense of oppression. At this moment, the station ghost once again launched an attack on the train. No way you can leave. Blood clot. The hoarse voice fell. The blood actually congealed gradually under the traction of its power. The train, which originally wasn't moving fast, now has almost come to a complete stop. Watching the fiend behind frantically chasing after. The warehouse ghost also began to act immediately. With the opening of the box on his chest, countless red mist surged out from the iron sheet, enveloping the entire body of the car. This allows the car to forcefully advance in the blood water. It previously possessed the power to restrain ghosts' abilities at the station. Although it cannot directly confront the fully awakened station ghost, it is definitely not comparable to other ordinary vengeful ghosts. The conductor ghost is driving the train, escaping with a deadly purpose. Countless fiends are crazily chasing, swarming and closing in. A large amount of red mist poured out from the iron plate on Ghost's chest in the warehouse. The red mist enveloped the entire body of the car, forcing the vehicle to move forward forcefully in the blood water. Among the group of fiends behind, there is a disheveled ghost mixed in with them. A thief stealing clothes from children. Give me back my innocence, he yelled fiercely. With a murderous aura, he rushed onto the train. Seeing the security guard approaching, Wenlong's buttocks clenched in fear. Damn it! Tragedy strikes. Why won't this damn ghost go away? The 3 fierce ghosts inside the carriage wanted to desperately push the ghost security guard out. But the ghost security guard hurriedly put on a sycophantic smile. Brother, don't hit me. I'm here to help you. Take me with you. He really turned around and kicked each fiend who wanted to get on the car. The ghosts looked at each other in surprise. It turns out that it really joined us. Evan Zhao's calm complexion tightened as he held the Gramps Loop property title in his hand. If any security guard among the ghosts has any bad intentions, he will control them at the first opportunity. With the addition of the ghost security guards, dealing with these fiends has become a lot easier. The train is about to leave the station ahead, but how can the station's ghosts be willing to let it go? Especially when one of the lackeys who once sided with them has now betrayed them, they naturally cannot tolerate it. With a roar echoing through the sky, the tracks of the train in front actually flipped over. It wants to forcefully block the train from breaking through the last barrier. The train conductor, Ghost, was shocked to see this scene. What should we do? We are about to crash. Evan Zhao quickly issued orders. Don't panic. Drive over it. Use all your strength to directly crush the train. Only this way can we trigger the protective mechanism of the ghost candle. The train conductor immediately calmed his mind and activated the fastest speed. The locomotive collided violently with the tracks carrying the ghost of the station. At that moment, the convergence of 2 different forces triggered a third irresistible lawful power. The ghost candle in the hands of Water Lucy, and when Long burned to ashes in the last moment. And at the critical moment, the train broke free from the constraints of the tracks and rushed towards the infinite light ahead. The earth-shattering roar of indignation from the ghost at the station came from behind, with tens of thousands of terrifying fiends standing at the station exit, their eyes full of resentment fixed on the departing train. Congratulations on clearing the major world quest resentment train. You can exit this quest world at any time, and rewards will be distributed afterwards. At this moment on the train, Evan Zhao, holding a scalpel, squatted in front of the three people tied up by the vengeful ghost and smiled. "If I let you go, will you seek revenge on me?" Mia Li has gone crazy, with saliva dripping from the corners of her mouth non-stop. She looked at Evan Zhao's face and screamed frantically, struggling incessantly. It was evident that this woman had been frightened by Evan Zhao. Wang Su was also in bad shape, his lips pale, eyes hollow. The little remaining sanity he had supported him, as he kept shaking his head continuously. "Very well," Evan Zhao said, and then he cut the ropes that had trapped the few people. Ding! Player Wang Su exited this world, and the two people transformed into white light and disappeared. When it was Sophia Chen's turn, she suddenly raised the handgun in her hand. Then she instantly aimed at Evan Zhao and fired 3 shots in a row. "Go to hell," she growled, showing a look of desperation, and then slowly disappeared from here. Resentment.